Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Right Voice for You, and I'm here with my very dear friend, Linda Rizzoli, and we're going to talk about some of the changes that we've had from Right Voice. Um, it's a class that I facilitate a lot in different spots around the world. And Linda backstage was telling me, you were telling me that you have a story, and she said, "Do you want me to tell you now, or do you want to wait?" And I was like, "I want to wait and be surprised." So here we go.
This is not much of a story, but it is a fun fact that I think ties into Right Voice really well. So, fun unknown fact about Linda is that I actually have a physical condition, should we call it, called tongue tied.
That's a thing.
Yeah. So, my tongue literally just doesn't have the agility and motion that most people's tongues do. But I think so. I have that, like, that's a physical thing that's in my world.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people who would say that they were tongue tied.
Wow, you mean literally, or you mean the metaphorical version?
The metaphorical
I was like, "No,
version.
you're literally, but you're not metaphorically." Got it.
I'm probably a bit of both.
Yeah, that you bring up a really good point, and it's like, I mean, the thing yesterday, I had a really weird day. I mean, I had facilitated 5 days of foundation, and then yesterday was, like, kind of the day off, and it was a great class and amazing changes and lots of great stuff. You were there, Linda. And,
I
um,
was.
and and then yesterday, I was like I was having an intense day. I was listening to Dane's body whispering class, and he was clearing all these things about, actually, the fear of being what's the word? Replaceable. And it
Ah.
was I cried for an hour when I heard him talking about being replaceable. It was just such a powerful conversation, and how there are these energies that come up that we really believe in, where we believe that our being is actually replaceable. And I I just went, "Whoa," like, that is something that has reverberated in my world my whole life, and I know it reverberates in everybody's world. And, it's this constant fear and sort of these demons that come up a lot for people. And I went, "Wow," it's like our beings, are not replaceable, and our beings are like literally, and it's I almost don't like to say it because we're so taught that we're replaceable, you know? Everything in life is about how you're replaceable and
Yeah,
expendable, while there's the pretense that you're somehow special at the same time. All of which is a
that's so
total
true.
invalidation. It's like, you're special, but everything about people's actions towards you creates this message that they matter and you don't matter. Because it's sort of this, I don't know, and now I'm painting a dark picture, but it's like there are these some really dark energetics that go on in the world, that we don't have the infrastructure or the language or the consciousness to actually deal with. So this whole thing about being replaceable made me think a lot about Right Voice for You, and just the magic that becomes available when you're willing to have your voice in the world and you're willing to contribute. Because so much is about, in this world, is about taking or thinking that you're not going to have enough, and what that creates. And in Right Voice, it's like it's a place where you get to receive and be a contribution, as your being. So
When you say right voice is a place where you get to receive, like, what does that mean?
it's a good question. Like, I mean, I mean, for me, like, even if you think about getting up on a stage and talking in front of 100
Yeah.
people, that scares the pants off of a whole lot of people. And even getting on Zoom and turning your camera on. scares the pants off of a whole lot of people. You know, I was scared of making videos and putting them online when I, you know, started out as a facilitator, and I really had to work through that. Like, I would sit there and make videos of myself and just judge the crap out of myself and be so embarrassed and not post them. And
Yeah.
then eventually I got a little more used to it, and then I hated posting them, but I would post them, and then I would get somebody, not a lot of feedback, but somebody would say, "Hey, thank you so much for what you said." You know, and I'd go, "Oh." You know,
So
and it's
isn't that when you talk about this, it seems to me what you're saying is having your voice in the world, like isn't that a place of giving and gifting? How
right.
does receiving come into play?
Right. Yeah, and it's like when you get in front of an audience of, say, 100 people, um, you have to receive, you know? But most people are
Hmm.
looking only to receive the good things, you know?
Yeah.
Um, they're not willing to receive everything. And so Right Voice is a place where you learn to receive a lot, you know, even the things that may seem scary, because when you receive the things that seem scary, you end up realizing that they're the source of your greatness. I mean, somebody judging you, if you're not willing to receive that, you have to block out your greatness. But if somebody judges you and if somebody judges you and you receive it, it's like you become more in the world and you become greater. And that judgment really fades away. And that's not an easy muscle in this reality, but it is
Mhm.
something that is a part of Right Voice. So it's kind of a class that takes some bravery.
It does. Um, so what about Right Voice is a class, for those of you who don't know, it's a class that Julia facilitates. I've taken it with her. It was such a gift in my life. And as we
Yeah.
talk about that class, and you opened with this conversation about these darker energies being special and being replaceable.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
how does
Thank you.
tie
Thanks for
into
circling me
having
back to that. I'm like, over here and over here and over here and over here. I mean it thank you for that. Like, it so basically, it was such a beautiful conversation that I was listening to yesterday about being replaceable and you how you're not. But when we don't function as the being that we are, and we do, you know, the niceties and politeness of human reality, the rightness and the righteousness of human reality, we're not functioning from our being, because our being is such a powerful force. And when you start to function from your being, you realize that you're different, and like you have
yeah.
different things available than other people have, and you are definitely anything but replaceable. But, you know, let me run a clearing on replaceable, because I know it's something that a whole lot of people,
Yeah.
everybody, you know, this feeling of being abandoned or forgotten, replaceable. So what jails are you using to create the dominance of E equals MC squared, as the lie of being replaceable, covering up, hiding, squelching, and suppressing the greatness of your being are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So it's like what is available when you function from a different space, a different world, um, and you are able to receive things that others can't, won't, are not seeking, that are the keys to magic.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
we're like, as we're having this conversation about our voice and
Yeah.
letting our voice be in the world, I think when we started talking, I was thinking that in a really narrow way, like, oh, on stage, on camera. But like the magic of me is so much bigger than the stage and the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, right voice for you is, it's like, it's called right voice for you, but it also could be called realizing that you have a being, god damn it.
I love it. Let's totally rebrand.
It's like having your voice in the world, it's like having a being, and like
Yeah.
one more story before we go. I was hanging out with a friend one time, and this was like when I really started to learn that I had a being, which you think would be something that happens as soon as you start doing access, but it took me a little longer than that. But and my friend said to me, we were just talking about what great friends we were. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because, this and this and this with our personality. She's like, no, it's just our beings. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, but for a second I was like, my being? Like, there were two things going on. I was so like grateful because that was so the truth of what it was. But also went, don't like, what about all the things I do and my personality? Like, forget that being. What's a being? It was like I had two reactions at the same time, and it was very funny. And that day, I realized, like, the tool, would an infinite being choose this? It's like, if you
Yeah.
ask that, your being's gonna start to show up in your life. And that is the source of everything. Like, literally, that's the
Oh,
purpose of access, is to have your being show up. Totally undefinable, not valued, not anything anybody ever wanted you to have. I mean, unless they were a
oh,
truly empowering person, you know? Um, and it's like the least valuable product in human reality and the most valuable thing you can have. So it's like,
yeah.
ask the question, what, how, if I was functioning as me, the infinite being today, what would I choose? And that
Yeah.
opens the door. That's where your being gets to come out and play. And that's all that you have to do, is ask that question. That's an acknowledgement of your being that will allow your being to take the forefront.
Wow. That's amazing.
It
Oh,
is
like I
amazing.
just have such a sense of this class is so much more, so much more than just getting a good image that people will
Yeah.
love on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Abby says, Abby says, oh, here, I can pin it. I love it. Right voice for you brings everything to life. Everything! Double exclamation point. And best of all, it makes everything a point of view and being totally in allowance of this. How do we get so lucky? Thank you for that, Abby. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I mean, it's like,
It is.
right voice for you is truly a gift. And it has a totally
Yeah.
different energy than anything else. It's not better or worse. I mean, it's just access classes are access classes. They're all so amazing.
Yeah.
But right voice for you is not replaceable. It brings something really unique to the table.
Totally. Well, and that quote too just reminded me how much I always work so hard not to be me
Yeah.
around other people and in that kind of public eye. And maybe the greatness of my being is more potent than my paper doll.
Paper doll. That's a good word. That's a good word for, we call it personality and access, but it's not. I mean, it is a personality. A paper doll is another great word for it, because that's exactly how it is. It's like, I'm a nice blah, 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 that we, learn to be to get everything right. Totally. Brilliant. Anita wrote down also the question that I posed. If I was
Yeah.
functioning as the infinite being I am, well, I said me, the infinite being, but I'm not, I think actually I should have said it a little different. If I was functioning as an infinite being, what would I choose today?
What would I choose?
Yeah.
If I was an infinite being and I could choose anything, would I choose my way into a Right Voice for You class?
I guess that's a good question to pose your infinite being. I like it.
Um, because there is a possibility. Julia has a Right Voice for You class coming up. It's a 2-day class on October 23rd and 24th. Is it online, Julia?
Yep, it is 100%
Yeah,
online,
cool.
so you can take it anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
We tried to make it a good time for a whole lot of countries, so sorry if your country isn't one of them, but we really tried to make it work well. And yeah, it's a 2-day class, and we're going to be talking about being you on and off camera. So being you in every area.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so when I took a live Right Voice for You class with you, it just went places that I never could have guessed that it would go, to remove all these barriers that I had put in between me and that infinite being that I truly am. So it
Yeah.
was a really great gift in my life.
Thank you. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It really is
Yeah.
I mean, the tools and the class really are something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Well,
Amazing.
thanks
We
for
ready to
having
go?
the conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. And thank you everybody
That's
out
fun.
there listening now and in the future. And yeah, so if you were functioning as an infinite being, what would you be choosing?
What would you choose?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Totally. Wow. Right? It's totally spaces you out because there's no
It
definition for
does.
it,
You
right?
just go to space
So
and don't know what to say.
totally. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will see you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye.